All right, thanks for joining us. Time now is 7 a.m. this morning. I'm Ellie Pomerlew. You're watching 15 News Plus, streaming live on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and our free WMTV 15 News app.
Connected to you on all devices and wherever you stream. This is WMTV 15 News Plus.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Today is Wednesday, February 25th, and we want to give you 5 Wisconsin headlines of the day in 50 seconds. President Trump held the longest State of the Union address last night. The president used the time to praise the administration's achievements, while many Democrats voiced their disagreement with his speech. A 55-year-old man was killed in an ATV crash last night near Highway 138 in the town of Rutland. Officials said the man was on private property and not wearing a helmet. They believe alcohol may have been a factor in the crash. Well, 2 people are displaced after a house fire in Partyville Monday afternoon. 4 cats died in the blaze while 8 were rescued. Crews are still investigating the cause of the fire. Trial dates have been set for a Madison man accused of leading police on a chase with a tow truck, which left a Madison police officer hurt. Jury selection for Christopher Bruger starts on April 20th, with the trial starting next day. Robert Chilcote, the man accused of murdering 24-year-old Gabriella Cartagena in Marinette earlier this month, is now back in Wisconsin. He's charged with first-degree intentional homicide and is due back in court tomorrow. All right, that's your first 5 in 50 seconds. For a deeper dive into any of these stories, just make sure to download our free 15 News app, or you can head online to WMTV15news.com. All right, time now to check in with First Alert meteorologist Delaney Bowles. It's cold today, but we got a warm up coming
Yeah,
out.
and we got the sunshine, so we're a little bit cooler than what we saw yesterday, but it is going to be dry. We did see some light snowfall for our northern portions of the viewing area yesterday afternoon. So mostly sunny skies, but as Ellie mentioned, those cool conditions for us on this Wednesday. Just a few scattered clouds around this morning, but we are looking at a gorgeous sunrise over the lake this morning. Here's a look at that, but there's those cold temperatures. It is 21 degrees here in Madison right now, but a wind chill value of 11 degrees, making things feel a lot cooler. Winds right now northwesterly blowing in at 9 miles per hour. So it is a bit of a breezy start to the morning. Temperatures in the teens and low 20s, 20 in Lone Rock, 17 in Baraboo, 20 down in Monroe. So some spots, particularly further to the north, still in the teens. We will continue to see temperatures warming, but the winds will remain anywhere between 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wind chills that are in the single digits right now will warm into the teens, but that's the best we'll get as we head through the day. So you'll want to bundle up as you head out this morning, but the good news is keeping the forecast dry with the sunshine in place. This area of high pressure is helping to keep that system to the south of us. We talked about some snow chances earlier in the week. It is looking like that will remain confined for parts of Iowa and northern Illinois. So we will remain dry tonight, partly cloudy skies. Cloudy to start your Thursday tomorrow here 7 a.m., but I think we'll see an increase in sunshine by the afternoon hours. This is 3 p.m. and then we are continuing with that sunshine for your Friday, as well as very mild temperatures. Highs in the 50s for your Friday. 28 degrees the high in Madison today. 40s for your Thursday. 42 the high. 56 on Friday, but another cold front sweeps through Friday night, dropping temperatures off for us once again into the weekend. 30 for your Saturday. 29 on Sunday. We have highlighted Saturday in red, as that looks like the potential for some light snowfall moving into the area, perhaps again later Sunday as well. And then another system looking to move in for the beginning of the work week on Tuesday. So still a few days out, so we'll continue to monitor things for you, but otherwise not a bad forecast as we wrap up the month of February and head into March.
Thanks, Delaney. Well, a bill that passed through the Wisconsin Assembly last week could lead to sweeping reform to the state's criminal justice system. WMTV's Simone Garber has more from a man with a personal connection to this legislation.
I made a commitment that when I came home, I was going to educate others on the harm that this system does.
Sean Wilson was born and raised in Milwaukee, and he's worked in social justice organizing for a decade now. But before his time in advocacy, he was incarcerated for 17 years.
I mean, this may sound strange, but it went by fast, right? And I say it went by fast because I buried myself in books, right? I buried myself in self-development.
When Wilson was released 10 years ago, he had to adjust to a society that wasn't the same as when he left it.
It looked drastically different, right? I stayed connected through family, friends, And so I had a sense of what I was coming into, but I didn't have a sense or understanding of the barriers that were going to be in front of me.
It's why he's thrown his support behind Assembly Bill 604. If it becomes law, the bill would allow incarcerated people in Wisconsin to access health care services 30 to 90 days before being released.
This legislation ensures that these individuals have access in a runway to have the continuity of health that they need to ensure a successful reentry.
44% of people in Wisconsin jails have a history of mental illness, according to NAMI Wisconsin. Advocates of this bill say a lack of support upon return home leads to higher recidivism rates.
These are our families and our friends. We should make sure that they have access to the things that they need to successfully reenter society and thrive in the community. That's what humanizing this issue is all about.
At the Wisconsin State Capitol, Simone Garber, WMTV 15 News.
Well, right now, Wisconsin state jails and prisons are funded by state and local governments. The passage of this bill would extend financial support from the federal level. It's expected to come through the Senate next. Advocates are encouraging people to call their senators to voice their support. Well, 2 authorities up in La Crosse County are being recognized after they heroically saved a driver who was trapped inside their burning vehicle. The incident was caught on dash camera. Let's take a look. That's Deputy Kirsten Jarr of the La Crosse County Sheriff's Office. So he runs over to the vehicle there that's on fire with that driver still inside. Officials said Deputy Jarr broke the driver's window and cut their seatbelt. He was able to remove the driver with the help of Holmen Police Officer Walker Stoner. The crash happened back on February 13th in Holmen. Both Jarr and Stoner were given life-saving awards by their agencies at a ceremony on Monday. Well, the U.S. State Department has lifted a shelter-in-place alert for Americans in Mexico, saying the situation has returned to normal. The alert followed widespread unrest after the Mexican government killed a drug lord El Mencho on Sunday. U.S. citizens no longer need to seek shelter in certain areas at this time. Curfew is staying in effect for U.S. government staff in the area. Flight schedules in Guadalajara were operating normally, and some airlines had extra flights planned for the people who couldn't leave during the shelter in place. Many businesses and public transportation have also resumed their regular operations. Well, officials in the Northeast United States are hard at work trying to restore power in the aftermath of this week's historic bomb cyclone blizzard. Thousands in the region are still without power, with officials saying it could take days to get the lights back on for some. The Mid-Atlantic and New England received record-breaking snowfall, with some areas getting more than 2 feet.
We've got to be able to get snow cleared as quickly as possible so that we can get power restored.
And the massive storm slowed down travel, making roads icy and dangerous and affecting other modes of travel as well, including rail service. There was also a major impact on air travel, with more than 10,000 flights canceled from Sunday until Tuesday. And amid all the winter weather, drivers also had to move over on a New York State interstate after some cows wandered onto the road. New York State traffic officials said the animals were loose near the roadway, delaying traffic. Police said the 3 cows escaped from a disabled livestock trailer that was parked on the side of the road. Officers were able to quickly recapture 2 of the cows, but one eluded police for a short time before being reined in by its owners. There were no injuries or crashes because of the cows, but no word from police on if the 3rd cow will be charged for resisting capture. Well, Wisconsin is getting propelled to the world stage as more than 3 dozen Madison dairy producers will compete in this year's World Championship Cheese Contest. The competition will start this coming Tuesday, March 3rd, and run until the 5th. Cheese makers from 25 countries and 34 U.S. states and territories will compete for the title of World Champion. The contest will be held at the Monona Terrace Community and Convention Center in Madison. This is the largest technical dairy products evaluation in the world. For a list of the Madison area businesses competing and how you can score some free samples, just head to our website, WMTV15news.com. Well, the Wisconsin Fishing Expo is also coming to the Alliant Energy Center this weekend. The event will be held from Friday to Sunday and features over 350 different booths. The expo runs from 1 to 8 p.m. on Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday. General admission is $12, while kids 12 and under are free. Veterans who present a form of military ID will receive a $2 discount. All right, well, today we are kicking off our 6th annual diaper drive. Each year, we partner with the Village Diaper Bank to raise money for families who have diaper need. That's when you can drop off any unused diapers to several locations around southern Wisconsin. You can also donate online at WMTV15news.com/diapers or by scanning this QR code here that you see on your screen. Now, March 4th, that's our match day. That's when your online donations will be matched up to $75,000. Thanks to our generous sponsors. Again, our 6th annual diaper drive kicks off today. Thank you so much in advance for your donations. All right, well, we do have a check of the road conditions here, and we're tracking a crash near Milton on I-3990 at Highway 26. You can see some police vehicles around that area, and there are some delays. If that's part of your commute this morning, make sure to give yourself some extra time as you're heading out the door. Thanks for joining us here on 15 News Plus. Have a great rest of your day.
Add WMTV 15 News to your Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Google TV today and never miss a moment of 15 News Plus.
Rethink how you get breaking news. With Local News Live, you get the big national stories direct from local reporters. Authentic, unfiltered, live where the story is. Local News Live, always streaming, always free.
We now join Local News Live, already in progress.